This is Movietone. Leslie Mitchell reporting. The rugged coast of Devon is a treacherous coast, feared as much by seamen as it's loved by holidaymakers. In 1936, at Hope Cove near Salcombe, the Herzogin Cecilie, one of the last of the old grain ships, ran aground on Hamstone Rock. The final agony of the Duchess, 8 times winner of the grain race from Australia, had begun. Most of her crew were brought ashore, but her skipper, Sven Eriksson, and his wife Pamela were to return aboard to wait, hopefully, for the Duchess to be floated off. They'd spent their first year of married life aboard the great ship. Mrs. Eriksson had already begun to share her husband's devotion to his first love. Then, many weeks later, on a high tide, they pulled her off the rocks and towed her round to Starhole Bay. The Erikssons pleaded with the authorities to beach the Duchess behind the protection of the bar, but they refused. That refusal, claims Mrs. Eriksson, was the cause of the ship's gradual disintegration. So she lay for nearly 30 years, a pitiful relic of a great age that has gone. The work of demolition started by the sea is now being completed by man. The Herzogin Cecilie is being broken up underwater by the Royal Navy. We went down to see the Navy frogmen begin this last chapter in the story of the Duchess, the epilogue, if you like, to a story which reached its tragic climax in 1936. After that disastrous summer, Sven Eriksson turned his back on the sea. Later, his wife, revisiting Devon, went to look at the Hamstone Rock where the Duchess foundered. But she didn't come here to Starhole Bay. I think it's easy to understand why. Every 4 years,